The most dangerous ancient weapons that shocked the world. Ancient warriors had weapons so deadly they changed history forever.
Before modern weapons, these tools ruled the battlefield.
Welcome back to Armed Forces Channel, where we unpack the most feared ancient weapons that turned battlefields into pure chaos. Think razor-edged swords, monstrous war machines, and tools so deadly they shaped entire empires. Stick around, because the #1 weapon is absolutely insane. Strap in, folks. This is going to be one hell of a trip through the past. These weapons are a testament to human ingenuity and the lengths we've gone to in times of conflict. So, let's travel back in time and uncover the top 10 most feared ancient weapons on Earth. Number 10. The Khopesh, Egypt's curved blade of doom. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the Khopesh, the iconic curved sword of ancient Egypt. Dating back to around 2500 BC, this weapon was a favorite of pharaohs and warriors alike.
You'll usually see the pharaoh holding the Khopesh aloft as he's destroying his enemies, or you'll see the gods offering the Khopesh to pharaoh as a symbol of this transition of power.
With its distinctive question mark-shaped blade, the Khopesh was both a slashing and hooking weapon, perfect for close combat. Its outer curve could slice through flesh like a scimitar, while the hook could disarm opponents by snagging shields or weapons. The Khopesh was so revered that it was buried with pharaohs like Tutankhamun, symbolizing power and divine authority. Its psychological impact was immense. Imagine facing a gleaming bronze blade wielded by a warrior, believed to be chosen by the gods. The Khopesh wasn't just a weapon, it was a statement of Egyptian dominance. Number 9. The longbow, England's medieval sniper. Next up, the English longbow, a weapon that redefined medieval warfare.
It's a serendipity thing. It's just something that happened. It's a progression. It's a thought process that happened. But once invented, then man would search for different materials, different woods to produce a better bow.
Used as early as 3300 BC, but perfected by the English during the 100 Years' War.
Bows, arrows, and the men who stood behind them would become a definitive weapon in the armies of Britain.
This 6-foot-tall bow could fire arrows over 300 yards with deadly accuracy. What made it terrifying? Its ability to penetrate armor. At the Battle of Agincourt in 1415, English longbowmen decimated French knights, raining down volleys of arrows that could punch through plate armor and kill from a distance. The longbow's range and rapid fire rate, up to 12 arrows per minute, made it a psychological nightmare. Imagine standing in a battlefield, hearing the whistle of arrows before they rained death from the sky. The longbow turned farmers into feared warriors and gave England a lethal edge. Number 8, the fire lance, China's proto-gun. At number 8, we have the fire lance, a 10th century Chinese invention that was essentially the world's first firearm. This bamboo or metal tube attached to a spear was filled with gunpowder and could shoot flames, shrapnel, or projectiles at close range. Used during the Song dynasty, the fire lance was a game-changer in close combat, spewing fire that could burn or blind enemies. Its psychological impact was unmatched. Imagine facing a weapon that roared like a dragon and spat fire. The fire lance paved the way for modern firearms, but in its time, it was a terrifying leap in technology that left enemies scrambling. The Chinese kept its secrets closely guarded, making it a symbol of their innovative prowess. Number 7. The war elephant, nature's living tank. Number 7 brings us to the war elephant, a living weapon that struck fear into even the bravest soldiers. Used as early as 1100 BC in China, and later by empires like Persia and India, these massive beasts were the tanks of the ancient world. towering over battlefields. War elephants could trample infantry, gore enemies with their tusks, and carry archers or spearmen in howdahs on their backs. At the Battle of Hydaspes in 326 BC, Alexander the Great faced 100 war elephants, and even his seasoned troops were rattled by their sheer power. The sight and sound of a charging elephant, often armored with bronze plates, was enough to break enemy lines before a single blow was struck. War elephants were the ultimate symbol of raw, unstoppable force. Number 6, the caltrop, the silent saboteur. Don't let its simplicity fool you. The caltrop at number 6 was a devilishly effective weapon. Dating back to at least 331 BC, these small, spiked iron devices were scattered on battlefields to cripple horses, chariots, and infantry. No matter how they landed, one sharp point always faced upward, ready to pierce feet or hooves. Used by Romans, Persians, and even Japanese ninjas, caltrops were cheap, easy to deploy, and utterly demoralizing. At the Battle of Carrhae in 53 BC, caltrops disrupted Roman cavalry, turning the tide for the Parthians. Their ability to slow armies and cause chaos made them a feared tool of sabotage. Number 5, Greek fire, Byzantium's flaming secret. At number 5, we have Greek fire, the Byzantine Empire's secret weapon from the 7th century AD. This incendiary liquid, likely a mix of petroleum, resin, and other flammable substances, could be sprayed from siphons or hurled in pots, burning even on water. Its formula was so closely guarded that it remains a mystery today. Greek fire was a game-changer in naval warfare, famously saving Constantinople from Arab sieges.
The loud roar of the flames, the sight of it, the sound of it, was really enough to put terror into these Arab forces.
The sight of unstoppable flames engulfing ships or soldiers was pure terror, and its psychological impact was as devastating as its physical destruction. Greek fire was the stuff of nightmares, a weapon that seemed almost supernatural. Number 4, the Urumi, India's deadly whipsword. Number 4 is the Urumi, a medieval South Indian weapon that's as dangerous as it is unique. This flexible, whip-like sword could have up to 30 razor-sharp blades, making it a whirlwind of death. Wielded by skilled warriors, the Urumi could strike multiple enemies at once, slashing through armor and flesh with terrifying precision. What made it so feared? Its unpredictability. The Urumi required immense skill to use without injuring the wielder, but in the right hands, it was a spectacle of destruction. A single swing could cut down a line of soldiers, and its eerie, whip-like motion unnerved opponents. The Urumi was a weapon only a master could wield, and that made it legendary. Number 3, the catapult, siege breaker of the ancient world. At number 3, we have the catapult, a siege weapon that brought cities to their knees. Emerging around the 4th century BC, thanks to Greek engineers like Archimedes, catapults could hurl massive stones, flaming projectiles, or even diseased corpses over castle walls. By the 3rd century BC, they were smashing fortifications with devastating force. The psychological terror of a catapult was unmatched. Imagine watching a boulder soar through the air, knowing it could crush you or your home. Used by Greeks, Romans, and Chinese, catapults were a symbol of unstoppable destruction, turning sieges into spectacles of fear. Number 2, the Zhua, China's brutal claw. Number 2 is the Zhua, a bizarre and brutal weapon from ancient China. Translating to claw, this long-handled weapon featured a claw-like head with sharp blades designed to rip away shields, weapons, or even flesh. Used as early as the Warring States period, 475 to 221 BC, the Zhua could pull a soldier off a horse or tear through armor with ease. Its fearsome reputation came from its versatility and sheer brutality. A skilled Zhua wielder could disarm and kill in one motion, leaving enemies defenseless. The sight of this claw-like weapon, glinting in the chaos of battle, was enough to make even seasoned warriors hesitate. Number 1, the plague catapult, weaponized disease. And now, the number 1 most feared ancient weapon, you won't believe this, the plague catapult. In 1346, during the siege of Kaffa, the Mongol army, ravaged by the Black Death, turned their misfortune into a weapon. They loaded their catapults with plague-ridden corpses and hurled them into the city, spreading disease and terror. This biological warfare was devastating. The plague decimated Kaffa's defenders, and fleeing survivors inadvertently spread the Black Death to Europe, killing millions. The psychological horror of facing a weapon that could kill you days or weeks later, with no defense, made this the ultimate ancient terror. The plague catapult wasn't just a weapon. It was a harbinger of doom that changed history. And there you have it, the 10 most feared ancient weapons that shaped the battlefields of history. From the Kopesh's divine menace to the plague catapult's apocalyptic horror, these tools of war remind us of humanity's ingenuity and its capacity for destruction.